Welcome to
Back to Flour.
Good morning, Arnaud.
Good morning, Lena. How are you?
I'm fine.
You're
Thank
fine.
You.
Okay, so tell me, what are we going to speak about today?
Today we are going to speak about crust thickness.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is very interesting. Actually, we can take an example. We have many different products here with different crust styles. So of course, it's mostly about leavened products, crusts, and it's what we are going to see. The crust and the crust thickness in particular will play a big role in the mouthfeel, in the bite that we are taking. So if you have a thicker crust, then you will have maybe more crunchiness.
Okay.
On the contrary, if you have a very thin crust like that, it's going to be more soft, more doughy.
Okay, I see. I get it.
And well, so the type of crust really depends on the customer preference. But then it is the baker's need to control this thickness.
Yeah, and for the baker, I think we need to understand how the crust is forming. In fact, one of the things that happened that we are going to prove the product, and this one will be in a pan, for instance, and this one maybe also. Sort of, but we are going to prove the product. So we are going to have a dough, and this dough we are going to put it into the oven.
Yeah,
correct. And so of course the oven, the temperature is very high. So the first thing we are going to bake is the outside of the bread.
The outer layer.
So yeah, and so the outside layer will become rigid very soon. Internally, the temperature is increasing. And we said in other video that during this phase, which we call the oven jump or oven rise, very important things happen, like the protein is degrading slowly and the starch is gelatinizing, and all of that is contributing to the alveoles. But basically, the internal part is expanding while the external part is not expanding.
Oh, so that's why you have more like open crumb.
It's more dense in this area.
It's denser.
Exactly.
Ah, interesting.
And then depending on this and on the time and temperature of the oven, then you will end up with a crust which will be more or less thick and more or less crunchy.
Wow, very interesting.
So the process is important, but we have been also mentioning that everything about the proofing and about the baking phase are important, so the flour properties are also important.
Yes, this is actually critical. This is one of the major components in those products. So we want to control flour, but what aspects exactly? I would say one of the most important one is protein when it comes to crumb thickness and formation, because as you mentioned, the product is expanding.
Yep.
So we need the protein to be able to resist to this deformation without collapsing at a very high temperature. Protein quality is essential. But also something that is often disregarded is the starch quality.
As always, starch is really functional.
Yeah, because in the oven what we will see is that the starch functionality. The starch is gelatinizing at high temperature, and that is setting the structure of the product.
Like the crumb, and the type of alveole, the thickness of the alveoles is also impacting by that.
So depending on the quality of the starch or the functionality of the starch, the gelatinization may appear a little bit sooner, a little bit later, be more or less intense. And this will definitely impact the formation of the alveoles, how it pushes the product up. And so if it pushes more, then you will have a thicker crust.
I understand. Damaged starch is also very important. You were mentioning starch, but we can also think about damaged starch because it may contribute to different moments. The first one will be, of course, we will put more water, so the mobility will be different. But also during the proofing, the number of alveoles and the repetition of alveoles and the gas production will depend on the starch damage, and also on the amylasic activity. So depending on the quantity of gas we are going to make, of course we will have more or less expansion, which will make the crust thicker or thinner.
Okay, I see. Very nice.
And last but not least, maybe we can also, if you're adding sugar,
oh yeah,
sugar will also help expanding the gas. It will also impact the crust thickness and softness. So
at the same time a fuel for the yeast, but also it will impact the gelatinization.
Exactly, the temperature and everything. So yeah, again, that's a very important criteria. Related to the production, to the process, but also related to the quality, and not only to one parameter.
The protein, starch,
and amylase
sugar,
activity.
Amylase activity. Very
so we need
interesting.
to control what's happening there.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. If you want to learn more about this important characteristic or about one of these delicious products here, you can visit our website